Why don't we all sound the same? A big animal with a small wish. A country which has made a nursery rhyme immemorial. An invention that changed how we catch dinner. And a new word that's all about trickery. Welcome to Facts, Fiction and Faraway Lands, your Friday ticket to wonder, words and the wide world. Why are people's voices different? Have you wondered why your voice sounds like you? Imagine entering a room full of people. What do you hear? That's right, different voices. Do we all sound the same? Of course not. Every person, even in the same family, has a unique voice. You can recognize who's talking just by hearing the voice. Your voice is one of its kind and a remarkable instrument. Your words help you communicate, but even the sound of your voice lets people know if you're feeling happy or sad, excited or angry, worried or afraid, and so much more. Because no two people's vocal cords and mouths are exactly the same, each has a voice unlike anybody else's. Your voice starts with a puff of air that comes up from your lungs, and the air moves across your voice box. In your voice box are thin folds of skin called the vocal cords. It causes them to move back and front or vibrate. This makes a sound which goes into your mouth. The size and shape of your mouth, as well as your tongue, your lips and cheeks, and even your teeth work together to create a voice that your family and friends instantly recognize as you. Can you try making your voice sound happy? And now angry. Isn't it fun how our voice changes with feelings? That was the interesting why and how of today. Hope you liked it. The elephant who wanted to be small. Ellie the elephant was the largest animal on the whole savannah. His ears flapped like giant fans, stirring up clouds of dust, and his long, strong trunk could easily reach the juiciest leaves on the tallest trees. The other animals often admired his great size and strength. "You're the strongest of us all," the zebras would say. "You can carry so much water in your trunk," praised the meerkats. Have you all seen meerkats? They are very nice animals. Look up the pictures on the internet. But Ellie wasn't so sure that being big was as wonderful as everyone said. One morning, as he watched a group of monkeys swinging playfully from tree to tree, Ellie sighed deeply. "Sometimes I wish I was small," he murmured. "I bet being tiny is much more fun." Ellie tried to join the monkeys' games, but every time he stomped closer, the ground shook. The branches snapped when he tried to climb, and the monkeys laughed gently. not meaning to be unkind, but unable to hide their amusement. Ellie turned away, his ears drooping. Nearby, colorful birds zipped through the air, diving into bushes and tiny nooks that Ellie couldn't even peek into. He watched as rabbits disappeared into the cozy burrows, bouncing in and out with ease. "I wish I could do that," Ellie whispered. "I wish I could fit in small places and play little animal games too." It happened so that one sunny afternoon, while wandering further than usual, Ellie came across a small tree with shiny leaves and a golden fruit hanging low from one of its branches. The fruit sparkled as though it were made of light. Beneath the tree was a wooden sign, hand-carved and weathered with age. It read, "Eat this fruit and your wish may come true." Ellie's eyes lit up. Without another thought, he reached out with his trunk, plucked the growing fruit and took a bite. A warm tingle spread from his trunk to his toes, and then he looked down and gasped. He had shrunk! Now Ellie was no bigger than a rabbit. His ears were small, his trunk short, and his giant feet were now tiny paws. Excited, he raced into the tall grass, giggling at how easy it was to hide. Being small felt like a dream come true. He crawled into the burrows and joined the rabbits in their tunnels. He soared with the birds on little breezes and played hide and seek with lizards behind rocks and roots. You see, but soon Ellie started to see a different side of being small. One strong gust of wind nearly sent him tumbling through the air like a dry leaf. A stream that he used to wade across easily now rushed past him like a wild river. Once, while trying to follow a butterfly, he caught in a thorny bush. His small legs were scratched and he couldn't move quickly to escape. Tired and sore, Ellie curled up inside a hollow log to rest. It was snug and warm, but Ellie didn't feel happy anymore. "I miss my big feet," he sighed. "I miss my strong trunk and safe size. Being small has its fun, but it's also a little scary." Ellie decided he wanted to go back to who he really was. He carefully made his way through the grass, past curious insects and rustling leaves, and finally found the magical tree again. To his great relief, another glowing fruit had grown. With hope in his heart, Ellie took a bite. Instantly, he began to grow. His legs stretched, his trunk lengthened, and his ears flapped wide once again. He was big! Ellie looked around and smiled. He felt safe, strong, and proud. From that day on, he stopped wishing to be someone else. Ellie still played with the rabbits and the monkeys, but in his own way. He helped the meerkats reach tall fruit, built tunnels with his trunk, and made shady spaces with his ears for tiny animals to rest. He had discovered something very important. It's great to admire others, but being yourself is the best gift of all. Our trip this week will be to the country of Austria in the European continent. The capital city of Austria is Vienna. Take a look at the screen. Can you spot Austria on the map of Europe? Now, I will play a piece of music. Let's see if you can identify the tune. Could you guess? Yes, it's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But what does it have to do with Austria? Austria is the birthplace of the world's most famous lullaby tune, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Well, sort of. The tune of this lullaby, also used for Ba Ba Black Ship and the alphabet song, comes from a French folk tune, but it was Austrian composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, or known as the Great Mozart, who popularized and arranged the tune in a set of 12 variations in the late 1700s. You definitely knew the nursery rhyme, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But you didn't know who arranged the music, right? Neither did I, until I stumbled upon this delightful fact. I thoroughly loved this fun fact. Did you? And now, time to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Today's invention about the most important asset of the fishermen is the fishing net. Millions of people around the world eat fish, and it is the fishermen who bring them out of seas, lakes, and rivers. What did early humans do when they felt like eating fish? Did they jump into a pond and grab it, or did they throw a spear in the water to stab it? It turns out they did both, but this was very time consuming. Eventually, they figured out they could catch many fish together using a net. So they made a net using roots of plants, wild grass, stones, and weights. The oldest fishing net, called the net of Andrea, was made 8,300 years ago. Rock carvings made 6,200 years ago hint at the usage of fishing nets. 5,200 years ago, usage of fishing nets was mentioned in ancient Greek literature. Fishing was never the same after the invention of the fishing net. Now, the word for the week is hoodwink. It's Hoodwink. Hoodwink means to trick or deceive. I often hoodwink my parents to eat a chocolate when they have said no. A lot of people in this world hoodwink others to do things without their knowledge or to steal something. Did you know that a man called Frank Abagnale was an American con man or a cheater in the 1960s who tricked banks, businesses, and people into giving him money? At the age of 16, he managed to hoodwink an airline company into believing he was a pilot by wearing a pilot's uniform and making a fake license. So, hoodwink. How do we use it in a sentence? I hoodwinked my brother into giving me his turn on the video game. Have you ever tried to trick someone? Playfully, of course, like hoodwinking your family? Let me know in the comments. That wraps up another magical stop in facts, fiction, and faraway lands. Until next time, keep wondering. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to hit like, tap on subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. Let's spread the magic of learning. Bye bye, story explorers. Ciao.